They have done superbly well. Our musicians and our choir, come, let us say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Our doorkeepers, our office staff, those in the kitchen service, everybody say out loud, the price is right. Say it again, the price is right. And the price is right because of the leadership. Daniel Mao, Esther, his wonderful companion. Thank God for you, Reverend Washington, Reverend Smith, Michael and Michael, and the chairperson of Men's Day. Thank you that I have the honor of being a part of the family. Oh, how good of you. And for the church that fed me for 27 years. Thank you. Clothing, food, shelter, transportation, love. I will never cease to be your servant. And thank you for the honor of allowing me to stand before you. Reverend Seagraves, you and Michael represent us all. Do a good job because the price is right. To my precious companion of 49 years. Yes, Bernadine is a little homebound and bedbound now, but she's a tough old girl. She sends her love. For my son, Reverend Drew David Murray, thank you, Lord. For my sister Louise Bowen, thank you, Lord. Tammy, April, and my nephew by marriage, Gary Cousin. Welcome, Gary. God is good. Thank you. Well, all of God's male children, the men and the boys present, please rise. Thank you, sisters. Here is a word from God to us from Jeremiah 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. In those days when you pray, I will listen. You will find me when you seek me, if you look for me in earnest. All of God's male children say, for I know the plans I have for you. For I know the plans I have. Take your seats with honor. Give them a hand. And Michael and the committee have selected as the theme, oh, Renaissance Man. Returning man to God's plan. Returning, that's process. That means change. You agree, everything must change. Summer turns to fall, and fall turns to winter, and winter turns to spring. The young become the old. Mysteries do unfold. Everything must change. Most of us here prefer big change. But some of us are stuck on little change. No matter how much things change, we don't change. Take that man who wasn't a Renaissance man. I'm the man of my house. I'm the man of my house. Like the other night, we ran out of hot water. I told my wife, I want some hot water, and I want it right now. In no time at all, I had all the hot water I wanted. Then Mr. Small Change added, I hate to do dishes in cold water. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Returning man to God's plan. And Michael and Pastor will allow us just to add a word, returning God's man to God's plan. Brothers, you will see three parts to God's plan for us. First, God says, brighten the corner where you are. Tell your neighbor that, everybody, brighten the corner where you are. And where are you? That's it. Where are you? No. Where you at? That's important where you start from. Israel is in its second captivity. You remember its first captivity, 430 years in Egypt as slaves. When Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go. You and I know what it is to be in Egypt land. 250 years in slavery in Egypt of America. But it's one thing to have chains on your ankles. It's another thing to have chains on your brain. It's one thing to have chains on your body. It's another thing to have chains on your mind. If you don't have chains on your mind, brothers, you know that we helped start this country. The first to die in the American Revolution was Crispus Attucks, a brother that looked just like most of us here. The first to die in the Civil War was a brother, Nicholas Biddle. Even Abraham Lincoln had to come to see. If it were not for the black troops, 186,000 of them, 30,000 in the Navy. If it were not for the black troops, the North could not have won the war. Come on, Pastor. We've been there. Tell it. We've done that. We've helped to open up the frontiers. We have been in captivity. Now Israel is in its second captivity. This time in Babylon. Babylon is known today as Iraq. Oh, Iraq, what a history it has. Abraham comes out of Iraq. Noah builds the ark in Iraq. Shadrach, Meshach, and as we joke, a bad Negro, Nebuchadnezzar. In Iraq. The Savior predicted will come out of that area, embossing Iraq. But you and I may not have been there, but we are well represented there. Because 30% of the Army, Navy, and Air Force at this tick of the watch are men and women who look like most of us here. But you don't have to go to Iraq personally. We've all been to terrorism. We've all experienced terrorism in this Iraq that we stand on here. Between 1880 and 1992, 3,442 lynchings in America. We know what terrorism is. 3,442 lynchings in 42 states. And yet, as dark as that corner is, God says, brothers, brighten the corner where you are. The lynchings have taken place in a great part in our minds. And we're going to have to raise up a whole new generation with a whole new mind of thought. We're going to have to raise up a generation that understands we're in a dark corner. We're in a dark hole. We are in crisis. Oh, my brothers, that missing father